We are live. This is the Market Update. I am your host, Bill Noble. Enjoying this little puke, are you? Wow. First, they got New York out. Then they got Asia out. They took it down like another 3-4% across all coins. Then finally, London came in. They stared at it for a while. Then they bought it up. Quite the stop fishing exercise the boys have pulled off here. Very nice. Very nice. Now, on one hand, you could say, well, people got over their skis, or XRP made a new high and everybody was in a big hurry to sell. Now, in that case, in the case of XRP, let's break it down. XRP makes a new high. The XRP army is mad that it took that long. Either they all sold when it rolled over, which is likely, or smart money sold and dumped it on everybody at the high. That's happened before. And XRP goes straight down. Matter of fact, I think XRP took the whole market down because that was the messiest of all the declines. The most mysterious of all the declines was Solana. It's like, what is this about? Now, ETH was up like, I don't know, like 20 days in a row. So, okay, ETH corrected, not shocking, most likely into intraday support. But even as the correction comes on, BlackRock is on the tape talking about de-dollarization. BlackRock buys more Bitcoin. Right. And, on the subject of de-dollarization, somebody pointed out today that if you understood the truth of why Bitcoin was built to begin with, it would scare you to death. And you know what? There's some truth to that, because Bitcoin came out in the wake of the great financial crisis, which is now something you look up in Wikipedia and goes, wow, okay, well, I guess that was a big deal. Folks, I'm going to tell you something. I had a front row seat for that, and that felt like the end of the world. The intelligence community briefed Congress on their annual risk assessment. The number one risk was that a 2008 happened again. There's a reason we don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is, because it could be an American or the Japanese intelligence service. Either way, selling it is ridiculous. Selling anything in crypto is ridiculous, in my opinion, because this administration is going to need an ongoing distraction. Not to mention, fiat is not fun. They're not having any fun in fiat. Like, Ghana just made fiat legal tender, if you will. CryptoQuant is reporting that this huge move in Bitcoin, it's not driven by retail, large institutions. And that's why 6% of the total Bitcoin supply has been purchased above 115K. At 77, no one wanted it, but at 115, wow, wave it in. Now let's talk about privacy. Normally, I leave this until the end to do the, antivirus update. But let's take a brief moment to talk about the philosophical reasons for crypto and this Tornado Cash trial in New York. So New York is trying to prosecute the guy who was head of Tornado Cash. The claim is there were hacks. He either could have stopped it. Or he was in some way involved. Now, the prosecution puts up an IRS agent claiming he could have stopped whatever hack there was. Roman Storms lawyers, that's the guy from Tornado Cash, stands up and goes, this is ridiculous because the IRS agent was the victim of a crypto scam that may have involved like personal relationships. Okay. So this guy, I'm looking at this and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Yeah, it was a romance scam. So they put an IRS agent who's got accounting experience. Okay. Right. Got accounting experience, but was the victim of a scam himself, testifying that Tornado Cash could have stopped some other scam. And I'm like, wow, that's the government's case? I hope not. Meanwhile, when the Tornado Cash defense starts, they have Chainalysis. And as soon as I heard that, that's game over. Because nobody knows more about what's going on chain than Chainalysis. They actually have the IRS contract. So I'm telling you this story for a very particular reason. First of all, if he's acquitted or they drop the civil suit, it's actually a trial. You're going to have a vindication for transactional freedom. You're going to have a big pro-crypto headline. You're going to have Ross out there. You're going to have every big figure in crypto out there going, you know what? You shouldn't go to jail or get punished for writing code. Because that's really what the Tornado Cash thing is about. Now, for antivirus fans, since antivirus has the similar mixer functionality that Tornado Cash has, right? Where basically you stick your crypto in and your crypto comes out. Let me say that again. You stick your crypto in and then your crypto comes out and your position is now private. That's how I like to describe it. Okay. Roman Storm gets acquitted. This is a victory for privacy and a national headline, if not an international catalyst for crypto. And again, for antivirus, a catalyst at 3 million market cap. I mean, I know these trials can go either way, right? Like if they shut down Tornado Cash, antivirus is the only mixer, one of the only mixers out there. And if Tornado Cash wins, antivirus has the 3 million market cap, and I'll let you fill in the blank. But this thing this thing is the only thing, because it's a state government, right? The federal government has dropped all charges against everybody. But if they can actually beat, of course, it's New York, they can actually beat New York, it's a victory for crypto. Speaking of beating New York, the mayoral candidate, who is great at getting publicity, is now saying he wants to eliminate all private property in Manhattan. In other words, he wants a full Marxist takeover of New York City. And he wants to empty out the prisons because violence is an artificial construct. Boy, if I knew how to get attention like he does, of course, I wouldn't get attention saying stuff like that. That's not my style. I'm from Texas. But people in New York City might want to think about privacy. Elimination of private property? I mean, that's far left. I mean, even if he moves to the center on that, well, you can keep some of the private property, but the rest of it's mine. Zero Hedge has an article this morning about a government-run grocery facility in Missouri that's empty. Empty shelves. You know, these things have been shown throughout history that even though you want to get people food, that's not the way to do it. It isn't. You want to help people out? Airdrop them some Bitcoin. 1, airdrop some Bitcoin. And 2, have the army show up with food. Run food distribution. I mean, we do this in disaster areas. Open it up. Bring in the National Guard and, feed people. And if all you got's MREs, people will take it. People will take it. State-owned facilities, But for the crypto bros. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. We love this guy in New York City, man. I'm going to get a t-shirt. I'm going to make people really upset. I'm going to get a t-shirt for sure. Because again, you want to talk about a government mooning your bags? Oh my God. Like you have this guy competitive for the mayor race and Tornado Cash wins. I may wind up vindicated on antivirus. I mean, again, at 3 million market cap, where can it go? I mean, Pengu flipped Arbitrum. Okay, now I know Pengu is not antivirus. I understand that. But if they want to expand valuations, they can, and they will. Like they expanded Fartcoin, they expanded Pengu. Now, of course, after they do that, the market gets, smackadoo, right? They smash everything. Speaking of smackadoo, a word I just made up, the orange man is going to the Fed today. He's going to drive up and ring the bell and have a little tour. I don't think he's going to be meeting with the plunge protection team because I know that there are things that go on at the Fed that Donald Trump does not want to know about. Nobody wants to know what goes on over there. You don't. Because they have been propping this thing up for a very long time. I mean, they could have $4 trillion worth of S&P futures. You don't know. That's the problem. You just don't know. Right. That's why when the stock market went down 25%, it's not a coincidence that it went literally straight back up. How do you think that happened? I mean, yes, all the ninnies sold at the bottom, but how do you think it happened? And again, you're going to ask me, what does this have to do with crypto? Again, this thing with the Fed, they're talking about a shadow Fed as well, meaning they're going to name Powell's successor way in advance so that everybody is actually going to listen to the shadow Fed rather than what Powell has to say. Oh my God. That's legacy chaos. Legacy is not going to know how to process that. The guy from PIMCO told you that yesterday. So again, how is this not constructive crypto? Especially when they're going way out of their way, like, oh my God, please take my crypto. Because everybody got long at the top. Right. And of course, it looked like $1 million. Looked like ETH was going to 4,000. XRP made a new high. Solana was like on its way and everyone got dropped. Leverage liquidations everywhere. And my contention is they got everyone's crypto. They were getting everyone's crypto overnight. I can tell you, like the Americans, they stayed up all night. They're like, oh my God, this is down again. It's like falling 4%. It looked like it was going to zero overnight. I'm like, oh my God. I'm going to walk in tomorrow to another yen carry trade. Disappearing act. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I will tell you this. The only reason for crypto to go down and stay down are if somehow the White House is dumb enough to stop talking up the market with new proposals, or the market becomes confident that there's going to be a big geopolitical event at the end of August, which there is a catalyst at the end of August without going into it, and you're going to have $200 oil. That is the only reason I could think of to sell crypto in this environment. Otherwise, buy the dip, right? I mean, it's like they're almost handing it to you. And you see the headlines this morning: alt season hopes dim as traders unwind everything. Everyone liquidated. Okay, my partner takes off her shoe and smacks me with it every time I say the word alt season, because really what it is rotation season. So stuff Pengu and Fartcoin go up, market gets smacked. Now they find the next narrative, right? The next narrative could be RWA, because I'm actually surprised that the BlackRocks and all these characters didn't really make announcements during crypto week. I keep waiting for these announcements. They're coming. I know they're coming, right? FTX starts its next round of creditor repayments. Okay. So I'm not entirely sure whether they get cash or crypto. Okay. It's cash redistribution. So you're giving a lot of people who were formerly into crypto a lot of money or all their money back, right? That's investment capital that can pour back into the market. What are they going to do? Buy the Magnificent Seven stocks? One thing you got to remember about the Magnificent Seven stocks is they're doing a huge build out. Like they're going to hold up the economy by itself. Like copper just made an all-time high. Platinum is smoking. Platinum miners are smoking, right? I was like, everything you need to build stuff is flying. And there isn't enough electricity. There just isn't. So, okay, they're going to go out and build a whole bunch of stuff and they're going to spend a fortune. But eventually they're going to run into a bottleneck because they don't have the electricity. Interesting, right? This whole AI build out is great, but is that the best place to make money when they just keep building it out and spending and spending and spending, and then they're going to run into a wall? I mean, I saw something this morning. I had to do further research. Supposedly, if our power supply would have to 10,000x to meet the demand that, the Skynet companies need to build what they have to build. So where do you want to invest? Right? I mean, these guys are building for the future. I mean, I get it. But I mean, what are the earnings going to look like? Are these chatbots profitable? I mean, yeah, if progress is exponential, I get it. But that leads me back to crypto. Like, where do you want to invest if you're an FTX, bag holder who got hosed? Like, where do you want to put your money? Right? I would say put it in the energy companies and crypto. That's just me, right? Crypto industry asks the Orange Man to stop JP Morgan's punitive tax on data access. It's absolutely unbelievable. These banks, like, it's like these banks, it's like they have two shovels as they just continue to like dig their own grave. I mean, it is absolutely unbelievable, right? Okay, more stuff about AI. OpenAI just announced that they're worried about an AI fraud crisis coming soon because AI is going to get so good on voice and video. Do you know there are projects in crypto that do things like proof of human and proof of machines, like what machine is going on? Like, I don't understand how you're going to have AI. Let me say this again. I don't know how you're going to have AI embedded into society without blockchain-based verifications and blockchain projects. And frankly, crypto transactions on the blockchain. Like, this stuff has not been traded at all. Just like 3 weeks ago, as I was looking up my videos, and I was like, okay, I don't know. I had like a video, it was like up only or like melt up. It was melt up. Like half the views I have now. Half. No one thought this was going up. No one thought this AI trade is going to happen. No one thinks FTX is going to put all their money back into crypto. No one thinks that. And especially, $630 million yesterday. Okay. It's like, that's a lot. That's a lot of people who believed in crypto who just got wiped out. And I'll tell you something about crypto. The Latestage Bull is a very hopeful person, right? Somebody who buys the top, even if it's stupid with leverage, they want to believe in the hope of crypto. Now, the most loathsome creature in crypto is the late stage bear. It already goes down and then they get negative, discouraging people, which I never do. I never do that, or I try not to do that. But if people were super hopeful at the top, okay, well, they can stay super hopeful. They can stay that way because all they did was wash everyone out. And, again, I continue to believe there are catalysts. There's tornado cash on privacy and transactions. The White House is coming up with an announcement. They desperately need a distraction, right? Like the orange man is inside these files doing what we don't know. But the optics on that they're horrendous. And then he's going to go pick a fight with Powell. I mean, Legacy is going to be like, oh my God, which of course is so bullish crypto, which, again, unless there's some event out there that I don't know about that they're pricing in now. I mean, if you go to TA, this is XRP 4-hour chart. That's a perfect looking 9 bottom. Now, you don't want to see a failed rally. You don't want this thing to go up and then like fail again. Like that would be bad. But look what they did. It just like huge FOMO up and they just wiped everybody out. They just wiped everyone out. Like everybody was like, oh yeah, here we go. $4 or $5. Boom. Done. Painful. Awful. But, from great pain comes great opportunity. Bull markets are not easy. ETH down. Look at these wicks, right? It's like every dip's being bought down by the dip, down by the dip, down by the dip, down by the dip. They just keep pushing it down. Who's pushing it down? Who's pushing it down and then turning around and buying it? That is market maker 101, right? Sell 100 to try to crush it. Buy 200, comes back. Sell another 100 to crush it. Sell 200 to crush it. Try to buy 400 back. All day, all night. In my opinion, I was looking at this. I was like, wow, these guys are desperate. This looks like it's going to zero. You're going to have people like waking up in the middle of the night going, oh my God, my P&L, sell. Because that's what you used to, right? That's a completely forgivable thing. That Stan Druckenmiller used to say, I would get long something and it would go down and I would want to sell. This is the guy that hodls, writes trends. He says diversification is no good. He's like, be a pig, never sell. He would have to convince himself why he was in a position every time it went down. So if you looked at this thing yesterday and you freaked out, well, there's nothing wrong with that. Again, I don't know how much more of this you want to see, right? Like Bitcoin is strong like bull at 117. I guess if they break this thing down, I don't know. Somebody said 114. That's kind of crazy considering they bought like 6% of the total supply at 115. All that volume in that confined space creates support. The only way to break that support, I think, is a geopolitical event. That's the only way, which would, trickle over into stonks, which would pull crypto down. Again, Solana, 9 bottom. A lot of stuff can't even get down there. You can't even get to support before everyone's like running in trying to grab it. Now, you don't know exactly what they're going to do. And this is like my little pet project. Like I'm trying to figure out where to buy Pepe. That's what I'm doing. But that might be stupid. That might be stupid, right? Because I'm just like, like ETH went up without Pepe, right? Because everybody was doing Bonk and Pengu, right? If you have Doge, Pengu, and Bonk, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like this is next, but maybe not. that's not really the point. The point is there are catalysts in crypto. There's risk, which I explained, but there are also catalysts. Like when you have in stocks, stocks kind of float around. They have earnings, but they got to have catalysts. They got to have stories, right? That's what keeps them going. And crypto does have catalysts. Does. Bad government behavior, good government behavior, promoting the stuff with the Fed, the stuff with the files. It's there. Okay. People, that is the market update for today. I did want to share one thing. Normally, I don't talk about this, but I'm trying to get to 22,000 followers. Like, I need your help. Seriously. Like, I'm not the biggest Twitter guy out there, but I'm tired of looking at this number. It's like, I have been looking at 21.9 for, I swear, like 6 months. Right now, it's 21,976, and there's probably 76 bots in there. So you know what, folks? Do me a favor. Let's go through 22. It's crypto_noble. Okay. That's the market update for today. We will see you tomorrow.